to our region, Israeli officials have accused Hamas of using kites and balloons to plan attacks in its territory. The Iran-backed militant group was given until Wednesday to rein in their use or face repercussions. We've got Bloomberg's Dan Williams joining us now from Jerusalem with more on this story. Dan, good morning. Just what more can you tell us about this accusation from Israel? Where is it coming from, essentially?
Abir, it's an uncanny story, quite eye-catching to any global viewer for whom kites are associated with childhood innocence. In the Gaza Strip, 8 years ago, well before the current war, Palestinians, Hamas members did use kites and balloons to fly flammable material and explosives across the border into Israel and set alight large tracts of farmland, forest, etc. At the time, this was seen as a measure, a form of hostility, asymmetric warfare that fell below the military threshold and put Israel into a conundrum as to whether to retaliate militarily. Now the situation is very different. The Gaza Strip's been ruined by that Israeli offensive launched after Hamas's cross-border raid of October 2023, and all parties, it would appear, are hoping to bring this toward a peaceable conclusion, specifically the Trump-led Board of Peace, which is there trying to convert a ceasefire into peacemaking. Now, the balloons have reappeared. Sorry, not the balloons. The kites have reappeared as of now without flammable material. However, the Israelis are wondering if, again, Hamas is trying to test Israeli patience, maybe provoke Israel into attacking, maybe even rebuild its arsenal from the ground up with this very asymmetric weapon, something that many Israelis along the border who were there yesterday fear could simply be a matter of deja vu all over again.
Okay, and Dan, just what exactly has the response from Hamas been? And then you alluded to this a little bit in your answer, but what does this whole thing mean for the wider peace talks, the Board of Peace plan?
Hamas has been publicly dismissive. It's accused Israel of seeking a pretext to go back to war. I think what we should be looking out for, Abir, is whether in the time remaining until that deadline you alluded to tomorrow, that Israel relayed to Hamas via the Board of Peace, that international consortium handling Trump's peace plan, whether indeed this abates, this phenomenon stops. We're talking about 8 to 10 to 12 kites that came over since the weekend. They're still being found. And if they stop coming over, it would appear the message has been received. These are not ordinary child kites. They have long strings, in one case 4.5 kilometers long. In general, that's not something you see with kids' toys. It would appear there's something here that's being tested out potentially ahead of a weaponized form of these kites or balloons or perhaps drones. If it stops by tomorrow, it would appear that the message was received in time.